The Krathmaul, a 12-foot nightmare of tentacles, serrated teeth, and scales that secreted acid, crashed through the reinforced barrier like tissue paper. Maya didn't run. She stood in the center of the training arena, harsh white lights glaring down, and pulled a sandwich from her pocket. "Bad, Fluffy," she said, taking a bite. The creature froze. All 16 eyes swiveled toward her. Its tentacles, mid-thrash, went limp. Then it sat. Actually, sat. On its massive haunches. And whimpered. "What?" Victor, the veteran hunter with scars crossing his face and a plasma rifle dropping from his hands, stared from the observation window above. "What did you just—" "Week 1, Day 5, Maya called up, holding the sandwich casually while the monster that had killed 3 hunters yesterday tilted its head at her. Still undefeated. Threxiel the Krath burst through the arena door, all 4 blade-tipped arms raised, his bronze chitinous armor gleaming under the lights, compound eyes, flashing green-gold with alarm. His mandibles clicked rapidly. "Step away from the specimen! It's coded lethal class!" Maya scratched behind what might have been the Krathmaul's ear analog. It leaned into her hand, purring, a sound that shook the floor panels. "He's not lethal," Maya said. "He's lonely, also hungry. When's the last time someone fed him actual food instead of those nutrient pellets?" The creature nuzzled her shoulder, nearly knocking her over with affection. Threxiel's 4 arms dropped slowly. His mandibles went still. That's not possible. Krathmauls are apex predators. They don't bond. They barely tolerate their own species." "Cool story," Maya said, offering the monster another bite of her sandwich. It took it delicately with a tentacle, somehow avoiding the acid secretions. "Do you have paperwork I need to sign, or can I go back to my cell? Sorry, quarters?" Director Cross stormed into the arena, his gray hair wild, coffee cup in hand though it was, empty. "Explain, now, before the Galactic Council shuts down my entire program because a failed class recruit is making extinction-level organisms sit and stay." "Failed class?" Maya looked up. "That's rude. I passed the entrance exam." "You scored a 2, Cross said, "out of 100. The minimum passing grade is 75. "There was a minimum?" Maya scratched the Krathmaul's chin. It made that earthquake purr again. "Nobody mentioned that." Velorna the Saurix slithered through the door, her 7-foot frame covered in shimmering purple-blue scales, 3 golden vertical eyes narrowing as she took in the scene. Her serpentine neck craned forward, tail coiling tight with agitation. "Human. You will release the specimen immediately and submit to psychological evaluation. This aberrant behavior suggests neural corruption." "Or," Maya said, "and hear me out, you've all been terrible at monster handling." The Krathmaul growled. "Not at Maya. At Velorna. Protective." Velorna's scales shifted to darker purple. "That creature should be incinerating you where you stand." "But he's not," Maya said, "because someone, probably you guys, kept him in a dark cell, fed him garbage, and shocked him every time he moved. So yeah, he got cranky, wouldn't you?" "Specimens are not pets," Threxiel clicked, his forearms crossing over his bronze-plated chest. "They are weapons, tools, resources." "There's your problem," Maya said. She pulled another sandwich from her other pocket. "Anyone else hungry? I made extras." The Krathmaul took the sandwich, then slowly, deliberately, walked over to the corner of the arena and lay down, watching her, waiting. "How?" Cross whispered, his coffee cup dropping from his hand, clattering on the metal floor. "How did you do that?" "I asked him nicely?" Maya shrugged. "Also, I've been sneaking into the containment cells at night to hang out. Turns out most of these monsters are just scared, angry, or bored. Sometimes all three. You've been what? Threxiel's mandibles snapped open. That's a violation of 83 safety protocols. Yeah, but nobody died, Maya said, which is more than you can say for your last 6 training sessions. Silence, the kind that pressed on eardrums. Victor finally spoke from the observation window, his scarred face pale. How many cells have you been in? All of them? Maya counted on her fingers. 47 species. 42 responded well. 3 need therapy I'm not qualified to give. 2 are genuinely evil and should probably be spaced. You catalogued them. Grisnocht, the Vorkan, floated into the room, his crystalline body refracting the harsh lights into rainbow patterns, geometric structures inside his translucent form, shifting with each word vibrated into existence. In 5 days. What our science division couldn't accomplish in 2 years. I mean, it's not hard, Maya said. You just have to, listen. And not immediately assume everything with claws wants to eat you. Everything with claws does want to eat us, Valorna hissed, her 3 golden eyes fixed on Maya. That's biological imperative. Nah, Maya said. That's trauma response. Big difference. The Krathmal stood up, walked over, and sat between Maya and the assembled aliens, facing them. Protective stance. Oh, this is bad, Victor muttered. This is revolutionary, Grisnocht vibrated, his crystal structures pulsing with excitement. Director, we must reconsider our entire containment doctrine. We must execute her for security violations, Valorna snapped, scales flushing deep purple-black, before she compromises the entire facility. You could try, Maya said, not looking up from scratching the Krathmal's scales. But Fluffy here really doesn't like loud, aggressive people, just saying. The creature growled. Low, the kind of sound that resonated in chest cavities. Valorna backed up 3 steps, her tail whipping nervously. She named it Fluffy. Threxiel clicked weakly, all 4 arms hanging limp. She named the apex predator Fluffy. He seems to like it, Maya said. Don't you, Fluffy? The Krathmal made a chirping sound. Actual chirping. Like a bird. A 12-foot acid-secreting bird with 16 eyes. Cross pinched the bridge of his nose. I need a drink. Someone get me a drink. Actually, get everyone a drink. We're going to need it. I don't drink, Maya said helpfully. You're the one driving me to drink, Cross shouted, then immediately flinched as Fluffy tensed. Sorry. Indoor voice. Please don't let it eat me. He won't eat you unless I tell him to, Maya said, then paused. Which I won't. Probably. Probably? Victor's voice cracked. I mean, if you guys keep being jerks to the monsters, I might reconsider, Maya said. But that seems like a you problem. Jen, the senior analyst, appeared in the doorway, tablet in hand, her expression carefully neutral. Director, we have a situation. Of course we do, Cross said. Is it worse than this? The Vorgan Hive in Sector 7 has breached containment, Jen said. 43 warrior drones, headed for life support. Everyone went quiet. Even the Krathmal stopped purring. That's a station killer event, Threxiel clicked, his compound eyes dimming with dread. Vorgan Hive warriors don't negotiate. They consume. We need to evacuate. Or, Maya said, standing up, brushing off her standard-issue jumpsuit. I could go talk to them. Talk to them? Valorna's 3 eyes went wide, scales shifting to shocked pale blue. They're a Gestalt consciousness. They don't communicate with individuals. Have you tried asking them nicely? Maya said. No one has tried asking them anything, Cross roared, because they dissolve anyone who gets close enough to try. Fluffy growled at Cross, protective. Sorry, Cross said quickly. Indoor voice. I'm sorry. Maya walked toward the door. I'll need about 10 minutes. You'll be dead in 10 seconds, Victor said. But he'd lowered his plasma rifle. Those things are killing machines. So was Fluffy, supposedly, Maya said. Come on, big guy. The Krathmal followed her, like a puppy, a 12-foot acid-secreting puppy. This is insane, Valorna said. But nobody stopped Maya as she walked out of the arena and into the corridor. The containment cells stretched in a long, dark hallway, emergency red lighting casting shadows, purple-blue force fields glowing at each doorway. Maya walked past cell after cell, creatures pressing against their barriers, not aggressive, curious. Hey, Shrieker, Maya waved at a floating jellyfish thing. Looking good. How's the new diet working? The creature pulsed pink, happy. Vorgan Hive's next, she told Fluffy, who chirped acknowledgement. They're probably just hungry and confused, same as everyone else here. Behind her, the entire station command team followed at a safe distance, weapons drawn, terrified. She's talking to them like they're people, Jen whispered, to Cross. They're not people, Cross whispered back. They're apocalypse scenarios with teeth. Tell that to them, Jen said, pointing. Every creature in every cell was watching Maya pass, not hunting, not aggressive, watching, waiting. The corridor ended at a massive reinforced door, alarm lights blinking red, warning signs in 12 languages.
Beyond it, sounds of destruction. Screeching metal. Acidic hissing.
That's where they are, Threxiel clicked, all 4 bladed arms raised. We should call for military intervention. Or, Maya said, pulling another sandwich from her pocket. Seriously, where did she keep getting these? I could just knock. She knocked. The sounds stopped. Complete silence. Then, slowly, the door cracked open. Not violently, carefully. A Vorgan warrior drone, 8 feet of chitinous horror with dripping mandibles and compound eyes that reflected no light, poked its head through, looked at Maya, tilted its head. Hey, Maya said, you guys okay and feet ain't there? The drone made a clicking sound. Confused clicking. Yeah, I figured, Maya said. Someone probably locked you in a room with no food or stimulation, and you got cranky. Totally fair. Want a sandwich? She held it out. The drone stared at it. Then, impossibly, took it with a pincer. Delicately, examined it. Ate it. Made a happy chirping sound. Good, right? Maya said. I make them fresh every morning. Listen, you guys can't dissolve the life support systems, okay? We kind of need those. But if you're hungry, I can arrange better food. And maybe some enrichment activities. You like puzzles? The drone tilted its head the other way. Behind Maya, Cross was hyperventilating into his hands. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. The hive is responding to individual communication, Grisnacht vibrated, his crystal structures spinning rapidly with excitement. This violates every known principle of Vorgan psychology. Maybe your principles were wrong, Maya said, not looking back. Can I come in? I promise I'm not here to hurt anyone. The drone stepped back. The door opened wider. 43 Vorgan warriors stood in the room beyond, not attacking, waiting. Maya walked in, alone. Fluffy tried to follow, but she held up a hand. Wait here, buddy. This is delicate. The Krathmal sat, in the hallway, like a good boy. The door closed behind her. She's dead, Victor said. She's absolutely dead. 5 minutes passed. Nothing. 10 minutes. Still nothing. At 15 minutes, Valorna started pacing, her tail coiling and uncoiling. We need to breach the door, extract her remains before... The door opened. Maya walked out, covered in some kind of glowing secretion, but smiling. Behind her, 43 Vorgan warriors followed in neat rows, organized, calm. "Good news," Maya said. They were just really stressed because nobody explained what a security drill was, and they thought they were being attacked. Also, they're vegetarian. What? Threxils. Mandibles dropped open. Vegetarian, Maya repeated. Those dissolving acids you guys keep talking about? That's for breaking down plant matter. They can't actually digest animal protein. So when you kept feeding them meat-based rations, you were basically poisoning them. The Vorgan warriors chirped in agreement. For 2 years, Grisnocht vibrated slowly, his crystals dimming with shock. We've been inadvertently torturing them. Yep, Maya said cheerfully. But it's cool. They forgive you? They just want better food and maybe some sun lamps. They're photosynthetic. Did you know that? No, Cross said weakly. We didn't know that. Because they dissolved everyone who tried to study them. Because you kept shocking them and spraying them with fire suppressant, Maya said, which burns their skin. Obviously, they fought back. Silence. The kind that felt like a physical weight. So, Maya said, are we good here? Because I'm pretty tired, and I think everyone needs snacks and a nap. The Vorgan warriors chirped agreement. Fluffy chirped back. Suddenly, every containment cell door in the corridor began to open. Not violently, just opening. Purple-blue force fields flickering out. Who authorized that? Cross shouted. I did, Grisnocht vibrated. Based on preliminary analysis of Maya's interaction protocols, containment is creating more danger than it prevents. What? Valorna's scales went pure white with shock. You're releasing 47 species of lethal organisms into the station. They're only lethal if you're terrible to them, Maya said as creatures began emerging from their cells. Cautiously. Hopefully. A floating jellyfish thing drifted over and nuzzled Maya's shoulder. A crystalline spider analog chittered happily and climbed onto Fluffy's back. A massive armored centipede curled around Jen's feet. She froze, but it just purred and closed its eyes. This is a nightmare, Victor whispered. This is a breakthrough, Grisnocht corrected, his entire crystalline body glowing with excitement. We've been operating under a fundamentally flawed paradigm. We've been operating under every known scientific principle, Valorna hissed, though she didn't move as a 6-legged feline analog rubbed against her scales. Yeah, and how's that been working out? Maya said, sitting down on the floor, immediately surrounded by creatures of various sizes and danger levels, all of them wanting attention. You guys have had a 93% mortality rate in this program. I checked. Where did you get that information? Cross demanded. Grisnocht left his tablet in the cafeteria, Maya said. Also, your security protocols are really bad, like embarrassingly bad. The Vorgan floated lower, his vibrations taking on an amused quality. She breached our systems. I didn't breach anything, Maya said. Your password was literally password. That's not breaching. That's you leaving the door open. I'm going to have a stroke, Cross said, sitting down heavily on the floor. Right here, right now. Someone document this for my autopsy report. Director, Jen said, her tablet showing rapidly updating data. Preliminary behavioral analysis suggests Maya's assessment is correct. Aggression patterns in all 47 species correlate directly with stress factors introduced by our containment protocols. You're saying we've been creating the monsters. Threxiel clicked slowly, his compound eyes dimming. I'm saying you've been treating thinking, feeling beings like equipment, Maya said, scratching 3 different creatures simultaneously. And yeah, they got mad about it, wouldn't you? A small creature, something with too many eyes and crystalline fur, climbed into Cross's lap. He stared down at it. It chirped at him, hopeful. It's kind of cute, Cross said weakly, then looked up sharply. I didn't mean that. I'm not going soft. This is still a military facility. The creature purred. Cross's hand, almost, involuntarily, began petting it. You're absolutely going soft, Victor said, but he'd sat down too. A massive scaled thing with fins was leaning against his side. This is insane. This is week 1, day 5, Maya said. Imagine what week 2 looks like. I'm terrified to ask, Valorna said. But she'd stopped trying to maintain distance. A small serpentine creature had wrapped around her arm. She wasn't shaking it off. Week 2, Maya said, pulling out her tablet. We're going to redesign the entire facility. These guys need proper habitats, enrichment, social structures. And the vegetarians need to be separated from the carnivores, because that's just common sense. You've been here 5 days, Threxiel said, all 4 arms hanging limp with defeat or maybe wonder. And you're restructuring a military research station. You gave me a failed class designation and ignored me, Maya said. So, yeah, I had time to think, and plan, and make friends. Fluffy chirped, proudly. The Council will never approve this, Valorna said, but her voice lacked conviction. The Council doesn't have to know, Grisnocht vibrated. Not yet. But imagine the applications. Diplomatic breakthroughs, security innovations, species that were considered unstable becoming productive members of galactic society. You want to weaponize her methodology, Victor said. I want to revolutionize how we interact with the universe, Grisnocht corrected. There's a difference. There's really not, Maya said. But sure, let's go with that. The creatures around her chirped, clicked, and purred in agreement. Meeting, Cross said, standing up carefully so as not to disturb the thing in his lap. Command center, now, before I regain my sanity and order everyone back to their cells. The command center was chaos. Monitoring screens showed creatures wandering the corridors, not destroying, exploring. The central holographic display flickered with data streams, workstations blinked, with alerts that were confused rather than alarmed. Containment breach in progress, one screen read. No casualties, no damages. Situation unclear. That's one way to describe it, Jen muttered, typing rapidly. I'm updating all behavioral protocols. This is going to take weeks. You have days, Cross said, though he was still absently petting the creature from earlier. Before Station Command reviews our quarterly report. What are you going to tell them? Victor asked, watching through the panoramic window as Vorgan warriors organized themselves into work groups. That a failed class recruit solved our entire program in 5 days by being nice? I'm going to tell them we've discovered a revolutionary approach to xenobiological interaction, Cross said, and that we need funding for facility expansion. They'll think you've lost your mind, Valorna said. Probably, Cross agreed. But look at the screens. Look at the data. We went from a 93% mortality rate to 0 casualties in 5 days. That speaks louder than any report. The Galactic Council will want to study her. Threxiel clicked, his bronze armor reflecting the blue glow of displays. Dissect her methodology. Maybe dissect her literally. They can try, Maya said, walking into the command center with an entourage of various creatures. But I'm pretty sure Fluffy and the gang wouldn't like that. Every creature in her entourage made a threatening sound. Different sounds. Same message. "You've created an army," Valorna whispered, her 3 golden eyes wide. "I've made friends," Maya corrected. "There's a difference." "Again, there really isn't," Victor said. Grisnocht floated to the center of the room, his crystalline structures casting rainbow patterns across everyone present. "We stand at a precipice. We can return to our old methods, proven failures that cost lives and resources. Or we can embrace this new paradigm and potentially reshape galactic civilization's approach to xenobiological relations." "You're being dramatic," Maya said. "Am I?" Grisnocht vibrated toward the screens. 47 species. 47 previously unmanageable organisms now peaceful and cooperative. In 5 days. Imagine what happens in 5 months. 5 years. "We'll need bigger facilities," Jen said, still typing. "Better resources. Trained personnel who understand Maya's approach." "You could just ask me," Maya said. "We are asking you," Cross said. "As of now, you're promoted to Senior Xenobiological Specialist." "I failed the entrance exam," Maya pointed out. "The exam was clearly testing the wrong things," Cross said. "Your new assignment? Train every hunter, handler, and analyst on this station in your methodology." "My methodology is literally just be nice and pay attention," Maya said. "Then teach them to be nice and pay attention," Cross said. "Because apparently that's what we've all forgotten how to do." The creature in his lap chirped agreement. "Fine," Maya said, "but I have conditions." "Of course you do," Valorna sighed, her scales shifting to resigned blue-gray. 1. No more shock collars, on anyone, ever. "Agreed," Threxiel clicked immediately. 2. Actual food. Species-appropriate diets researched and implemented. "Jen's already drafting the requirements," Cross said. 3. Enrichment. "These guys need stimulation, socialization, purpose. We build proper habitats, or this whole thing fails." "Grisnocht's designing the facility expansion," Cross said. "What else?" "That's it," Maya said. "Oh, and I keep my failed class designation on paper. I like the irony." "Done," Cross said. "Anything else?" "Can I have Fridays off?" Maya asked. "I want to start a movie night. I think the Vorgan Hive would really enjoy classic cinema." Everyone stared at her. "What?" Maya said. "They've been locked up for 2 years with nothing to do. They deserve some entertainment." The Vorgan warriors chirped enthusiastically. "Movie night," Victor said flatly, "for a Gestalt consciousness of warrior drones." "They like stories," Maya said. "We talked about it. Apparently, their cultural evolution was interrupted when you guys captured them. They want to learn about narrative structure." "They want to learn about narrative structure," Valorna repeated slowly. "Yeah," Maya said. "Is that weird?" "Everything about this is weird," Valorna said. "But at this point, I've given up trying to understand." "Smart," Maya said. She looked around at the assembled station command, the monitoring screens showing peaceful creatures, her growing entourage of former monsters. "So, are we doing this? Reforming the entire program?" "Do we have a choice?" Cross asked, though he was smiling. Tired, but smiling. "You always have a choice," Maya said. "You can keep doing things the way you've always done them and keep getting terrible results. Or you can try something new and maybe change everything." "When you put it that way," Threxiel clicked, his mandibles spreading in what might have been a smile. "The answer seems obvious." "Good," Maya said. Because I already started drafting new protocols. Jen, check your inbox. Jen glanced at her tablet. Her eyes widened. This is incredibly detailed. When did you write this? Couldn't sleep, Maya said. Kept thinking about all the improvements we could make. This would revolutionize not just our facility, but the entire galactic approach to xenobiological research. Grisnocht vibrated, reviewing the documents. Maya, this is extraordinary work. It's just common sense, Maya said, plus a lot of empathy. Common sense and empathy, Victor laughed. Actual laughter. The two things this military installation was specifically designed to exclude. Yeah, Maya said. That was your first mistake. Fluffy chirped agreement. The Vorgan warriors chirped back. Soon, every creature in the station was making supportive sounds. Different species, different sounds, same message. Things were about to change. Cross looked at his command team, then at Maya, then at the creature still purring in his lap. You know what? I'm going to recommend this program for Galactic Council review. Let them try to shut it down after seeing the results. They'll try anyway, Valorna said, but she was scratching the serpentine creature wrapped around her arm. The Council doesn't like change. Then they'll have to go through me, Maya said, and Fluffy, and 46 other very protective friends. The creatures around her growled, chirped, and clicked in threatening harmony. That's actually terrifying, Victor said. Good, Maya said. Maybe people will finally take these guys seriously. As people, not equipment. To new protocols, Cross said, raising his empty coffee cup. To common sense, Jen added. To empathy, Grisnocht vibrated. To Fluffy, Maya said. And every other misunderstood monster who just needed someone to listen. Every creature in the station made a sound. Different sounds. Same meaning. Agreement, hope, and the promise of something better. Week 1, Day 5. Failed class recruit Maya had just changed everything, and nobody could quite believe it was that simple. But it was. Sometimes, the hardest problems have the easiest solutions. You just have to be brave enough, or maybe naive enough, to try them. Maya scratched Fluffy's scales and smiled. Week 2 was going to be interesting. Behind her, through the panoramic window, the stars stretched infinite and bright, full of possibilities, and monsters who just wanted to be understood.